Let's go.
You ready?
Squad about the dojo.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
We in here, man.
Legendary.
Episode 6.
Legendary. Salt. Saute. Shout out to Hokage.
What else?
Rolling with my ninjas and my tribe, we beat a body.
Hey.
Saute. Shout out to Hokage.
What else?
Rolling with my ninjas and my tribe, we beat a body. Saute.
Shout out to FBC Click.
Shout out to my boy FBC Click.
They did phenomenal.
Hey, S.A.L.T Society Podcast.
We here.
Episode 6.
Welcome back.
It's January 24th, I think.
2-4.
Is it the 24th?
Yes.
January 24th.
Look at you knowing dates and stuff. Son.
Oh,
You smart.
man, you know
what
I
I'm
be
saying?
forgetting, man.
Educated.
Episode 6, S.A.L.T Society Podcast. It's your boy Calvin Martin. I'm in here with my boy Jay Nice, Paula Chades,
Nah, bro, go back.
DJ Connect.
Jay Nice to KB.
Oh, talk
If
to
I'm
him.
not your OG's favorite rapper, it's because I'm your OG. That's my new
Facts.
intro, bro.
Facts.
That's my new intro. If I'm not your OG's favorite rapper, it's because I am your OG.
What else? What else?
Tired of being humble.
I'm trying to be humble. All 2018, I will not
What
apologize
else?
for being great. Bro.
What else? We in here, man. Like it's really been a joy. It's really been a pleasure doing this podcast.
Facts.
Like we say every week, you know, we'll just put the disclaimer out now, early. Friends, family, or foe. Mm-hmm. You may be offended. Mm-hmm. Listening or watching, we got the live going.
With no effort.
Listen, we in here. We not trying to offend. We trying to be the salt. We trying to be salt and light. That's what we are.
Preserve
We
it.
are the church.
Uh-huh.
We preserve. We season. We add the flavor.
Before we get started, does anyone want
I
to
wish
get
they
out?
could hear. I wish they could hear that on live. But drop a bomb for episode 6 of the
Episode
S.A.L.T Society
6.
podcast.
Palm.
Good job, Chris, man.
It's not right if it's not choppy.
Right.
So whose turn is it? Whose turn is it for? Whose turn is it for story
Yeah,
time?
Paula Trady's got a story for story time.
All right, what's up with the story time, man? We in here early. Shout out to everybody on the live. Share this if you've been rocking with the S.A.L.T Society podcast. Share this live. Be looking for the official audio tomorrow. And if you want to be on the S.A.L.T Society podcast, just hit us up in the DM. Comment on this page. We will gladly allow you to come on the S.A.L.T Society podcast and get it off your chest.
Get it off.
So what's the story?
All right, so let's get into the story. Let's start with the straw that broke the camel's back. So my wife currently, she has a good theory that, relationships don't break up on big things, they break up on small things. So we're going to talk about the end of my last relationship. So I was married for 13 years, and I'm sure we'll get to that more later about because I'm also a stealer of spouses and an affair. I'm an affair junkie, so we need to disclaim that and call that out there right there. So I married my wife, my first wife. We had our trap baby.
A trap baby?
Yeah, you know. I figured it out later. No, I apologize. I said
What's
figured it
a
out.
trap baby,
Let's
bro?
be clear. My lady pointed out to me like, so she trapped you. Like, oh, I
Bro,
got
you could have
trapped.
totally went on this whole gangster thing. Like, yo, I had a trap baby. Like, I raised my baby in the trap.
Hello,
They didn't
everybody.
leave the trap. We just sold
Now
dope
chill.
all day.
What do you say when you meet a nice man?
I've already been on.
Are you my daddy?
Thanks, Calvin. Not that I don't sound it.
Oh my goodness.
So, anyways, we're married for 13 years. I love my son. And man, my oldest, he's 15 now. And man, so, just like any relationship, I worked through a lot of stuff. And know you only hear my side of the story. I worked through a lot of stuff with her.
Right.
I tried to live with her many times, except, I love my kid. I got to be there for my kid. And so after 13 years, this is January 2015. The conversation gets out of control with her. I'd say the conversation like, I'm talking to you right here. And she's like, why are you arguing with me? I'm like, I'm not arguing. I'm having a conversation. And it escalates. And she likes to escalate. So strike one, remote gets thrown in my face. And I don't know if you've had a remote thrown in your face. It doesn't feel too good.
Had a
Was it
phone
a
thrown at my
universal
face.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good either, right?
Sucks.
It doesn't feel good.
Was it a universal remote? Like I
It
didn't
was
know the weight.
It
of
was
this
your
remote.
cable one, yeah, that has all the
Like
all the
AA batteries?
Is that DirecTV?
The AT&T joint is huge, bro.
I already got a request from Eric. Who is this?
Eric Canosa?
No, yeah, who's that?
That's the homie that was. He's one of Real's partners. He went with us to the Super Bowl.
Okay. We'll try to bring him in later.
So yeah. So it hits me in the face, and my son's watching, and I'm always about self-control. I'm always about controlling myself, controlling my position, and I'm gathering and I'm talking to her, and she hits me in the face. I'm like,
We've been there, brother.
Yeah, this ain't
been there.
This is not any kind of macho angle. It didn't hurt. You hit me in front of my kid, though. You know. You hit me so in my mind, and I've done everything to change who I am as a man to be an example for my son, because they're gonna listen to what you say. They're gonna follow what you do. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna put hands on her. I'm not gonna do anything crazy or escalate this further. At the same token, he's either gonna look for somebody who's gonna abuse him, or he's gonna find somebody and abuse them. One or the other. If I gotta figure this out. It keeps escalating, to say the least. I end up getting hit like 3 times in the face, twice in the boys, and it's fine. It's whatever. In my mind, that's January 2015. That's January.
Right.
I had a right to leave that day. It would have championed me. I'd been great. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I don't give up. Like Jay said, I'm competitive.
Yeah.
So I go upstairs. I go sleep in another room, and I start working through it like a good man, a good husband. I work through it. We go to counseling, all that good stuff. 5 months go by. It's not getting much better.
Now, how many years in are y'all?
13.
Y'all are already in 13 years.
13 years, 20 years together. 7 of an affair. 13 together officially, though, right? By the way, what I just said, I need to tell it to my son. I've been meaning to tell him. I was trying to respect his mom and wait till she dies to tell him.
Oh,
that part.
bro, so he's about to hear this on the podcast.
I need to tell him that. Yeah,
Dang.
'Cause I've learned a lot of education being in an affair, like things I want to fix or change about my life. About people, and I get it.
Hey, that's real life. So when you said the trap baby, that's meaning you had the baby
No, yeah. While she was still married.
while she was still married. Okay,
Right.
okay.
And then we
That's real life.
escalate our time.
There's a lot of people been there.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And I've known you for a long time.
Well, and here's the crazy thing. You start telling lies so much, you start believing it.
Ooh.
So the lie she and I concocted up, we told that lie for so long, for 7 years, for the
Wow.
marriage, I started believing it. That's not
Wow.
the real story. That's not the real story.
Wow.
The good thing, I've told my stepkids, her kids, the real story, though.
Yeah.
I said,
Right,
I disrespected your father. I disrespected y'all. We've talked about this. Us.
Mind you, though, let's also add in, like, for those who don't know Paul, like, Paul was significantly young when these occurred again.
Yeah, she's 18 years my senior.
Yeah. So his
Oh.
wife at the time was 18 years older than him.
Oh.
And so,
wow.
wait, how old are you? Early?
At the time or what?
No, like when you met her.
I was 17 when I
18
met
years,
met
bro.
her.
He had that.
17 when he met this young lady.
Wow.
So, I used young lady.
No, I got you.
loosely,
She was 35,
Right.
hitting 36, whatever.
Bro, he had that serious game. or she was a little.
Is there a new special
Is that-
about this?
Wait, hold on.
I've always been half the old kids.
Bro, show me on this
It's a
dog.
Lifetime movie. It's a Lifetime movie.
Hold on. What are the statute
sell
of
this to
limitations
Lifetime.
on this? He was still a
He was
minor.
17, King.
No.
He was
18, he turned
consenting.
physical.
He was a
Oh, okay.
consenting
Got it,
adult.
got
He was
it. Okay, so we're
consenting.
back. So
Yeah.
let me just reflect. You met her at 17.
Yeah.
When you were 18 is when the affair started with this
Yeah.
young lady.
Yeah.
And she was about 35.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you guys had a child.
Yeah. Fast forward 7 years later.
Got it.
Which I'm being strung along, not realizing you never gonna leave your husband, all that. I'm still a kid though, mentally. I'm still a kid.
Right.
So
That's crazy.
24, we get married. I'm 24. She's 42. We're having the trap baby. Baby's there at the wedding. right?
Trap.
The baby's at the. Did she wear white to this wedding?
Bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get, bro.
yeah.
Bro, I'm gonna get all my titles from here from now on. Last week it was "Don't touch my internet." This week is "We had a trap baby."
Hey, can I tell you something real quick? That last podcast, I heard it back and I was like, Wow, my voice really spiked up. And Jay can tell you, I don't flinch for nothing. You can tell me any kind of crisis. I'm like, that's interesting. Oh, your dog died? Oh, whatever.
We were just in the car talking about how shrapnel was going to shoot out of my airbag.
It didn't bother me.
It was cool.
You tell my internet, like, what?
Don't mess with my internet.
Don't
cuz.
ever touch my internet.
So anyway, and I will talk to my 15-year-old and my 1-year-old about because you fall into an affair by trying to help somebody, trying to save somebody.
Wow.
I was just trying to rescue somebody and didn't realize it's too young to handle it. Anyways, so that's from January. From May, I'm sorry, April 10th, 2015. We're still trying to figure this out, work it out, whatever. I'm about to go get her prescription. She's on escalating verbally. We're going back and forth. She's kind of escalating. I'm like, all right, okay. Let's talk about it later. I'll go get your prescription. She's like, no, I'm gonna go get it. I'm like, okay, go get it. And she calls our son down to go with him. I'm like, oh, and I'm a super safe driver. I'm 10 and 2. I'm getting home safely. I drive a speed limit because I'm gonna live for my kid.
Yeah.
And so you're about to drive erratically, emotionally with my kid in the car? No, I'm gonna get in with you. So I get in the car with them, and I sit in the back because it's kind of weird. So my son's in the front, she's in the front, and it's super tense. Like, she's driving crazy like I figured she would. Mm-hmm. So we get to HEB, and it's super quiet and thick in the car. So as we're leaving HEB, she decides to put on the radio. Now, I don't know if you've ever been paid attention to the pattern of life. Life likes to screw with you. Let's not put it on God. Let's just say life likes to screw with you. So these 5 months that we've been on issues, every time we push our iPod, ugly music comes on. Like, Love Don't Live Here No More, Unbreak My Heart, Say Something. Like the worst stuff. And there's good music on there, just the worst stuff comes up. And we're just both sitting there silent and quiet, like, I didn't say nothing to you. So she doesn't push the iPod. She knows this. She knows that it's something ugly's going to come up. It's going to set her off. She pushes the CD player. All right. What comes on, she's never heard. Let me clarify for the audience in case you don't know what this is. I didn't know what it was. A friend of mine gave me a CD. It's not a love mix CD or anything. If you've ever heard of a band called Linkin Park, it's like Linkin Park. It's another band called Trust Company. I've never heard anything else out of them. They sound just like them, though, maybe without the beats. So it's aggressive metal. I want to point that out because it's not like it came on and it was a mixtape. Like, oh, some girl gave it. It wasn't that.
How old were you at this time?
This is 3 years ago, so I'm 30. Okay. I'm 37.
And how old was she?
Damn, I don't know. I don't keep track of that.
So she's just mad at the world right now. She's like, it's young music in my car.
yeah. And
this isn't Frank
music.
Sinatra.
So she knows immediately that that's not a normal CD that we have.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she pushes the button, and this music comes on. She's like, "What's this?" She grabs my CD, rolls down the window, chucks it out the window. I have two immediate thoughts. One, you have no respect for my property and you're not changing. What are you going to do with my PlayStation when I get home?
Wait.
Real thought.
This boy worried about the PlayStation, bro.
PlayStation's a way of life, bro.
Yeah.
God.
Two, my second real thought.
Help!
My second real thought is you littered. You littered.
You're a hater of technology and the earth.
I'm leaving today. In that moment, I knew I was gone. Here's why the littering is so important to me. Because I live as an example for my kids. Right. So when we're out, I'll put the shopping carts away. If I see trash on the floor, I'm picking it up. I don't care if I don't work there. I don't care if I don't live there. I treat people well. I open the door. We're kind to waiters and waitresses. We treat people well. And you're just going to litter? You disrespect my property? Act like a child? So you haven't changed at all. So I knew in that moment, I'm gone. So sure enough, get home. And I act like I'm going upstairs and really I'm just sticking stuff in my mom's car and I jet out there. And I will say that they call my son and tell him like, hey, look, I'm leaving tonight. Because, and let me say this clearly, living as an example for him, I needed him to see what a healthy relationship looked like. I need him to see what a non-broken relationship looked like. Right, so I decided April 10th, 2015, I'm gone. And that's what I did. Yeah. That's what I did. So
wow.
Yeah,
hey, round of applause. Round of applause for my boy Paul.
Yeah,
he got smacked
real.
in the face, punched in the face But it wasn't until his CD was trashed.
Wait, you forgot he got kicked in the family
He got
jewels.
kicked.
It's more like a right hook.
Right hook. Okay. Oh, yo, she's short. Okay, we got this. We got this.
Listen,
Never
man.
litter with my junk again.
Yo, I think that's
it's-
important though, like to talk about like hashtag men too, bro.
Yeah.
Hashtag men too.
Not
bro.
me too,
How
men
many-
too.
Yeah,
Men
men
too.
too. Like how many men go through like physical violence and we're just supposed to like suck it up and just deal with
Hey,
it?
that's facts,
Like, because if
man.
you hear about a
That's
woman
facts.
getting beat in a marriage, you're like, leave her right now. Like,
right.
leave him right now. But like when it comes to a man,
You better
like,
suck it up.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
supposed to deal with.
There's no sympathy for
Right,
him.
you're supposed to
Yeah.
deal with the damaged relationship. Like we were talking, and I don't know if we want to get on the topic or not.
We
but,
can
like,
go,
all
roll
these
with it.
people that are being, accused of sexual assault, bro. I thought about like how many times, like we hear all these cases of like Bill Cosby, the Harvey Weinstein, the
new
Aziz
guy.
Ansari.
what's the, Aziz Ansari. What was
Louis
the other
CK.
dude you were telling me about? Oh, Lucy K. But how many times like have men been in a situation where like, bro, literally, no lie, I've been raped by a female, molested by females, and
Same
then
here.
as a teenager, literally told a female like, no, and like I don't like.
Bro, was
I'm
she
a big black dude, bro. Like
Was
I'm not
she
gonna just
big,
throw this
bro?
little white girl. No, but the problem is
You felt
I'm
pressured.
so big. I can't just throw you. Like, you
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Immediately changes to you are abusing her.
exactly, bro. So like I'm telling you no, pushing you away, and
She took it.
so I just gotta deal with it.
I think the other.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think the other mistaken is when a man all of a sudden gets aroused. He thinks
That he's down.
That you want it.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Nah, and
that's consensual. Like,
that's funny you say that. I heard it said like this. And rest in peace to the great R.C. Sproul. I heard him. One of his teaching sessions. He was like, arousal is an uncontrollable physiological response to sensual touching. That doesn't. You don't have to
Enjoy it.
Yeah, you could be blind, like and that you're gonna get that response. But what you do after that is what's the actual acting of lust or sexual sin or whatever it may be. So it's like just because I have a physiological response to your touching does not mean that I want it. And it's crazy, like you said, like just thinking about this culture, all these accusations, like I can't help. I know it's not the politically correct thing to say, but I can't help but think every time I see another accusation, I can't help but think like all of these accusations can't be real, bro.
Right. And I think
There's no way. There's no way.
I
It's like
appreciate that right now that people are looking and they're intelligent enough to look at individually each case because each case is different.
Right.
Like Aziz and Louis aren't as bad as Cosby's and Weinstein's. So let's look at them individually.
But even when you mention in Cosby,
right.
we had all of that media just dragging his name and all of that, and then at the end of the whole situation, all the charges dropped.
Yeah, like they didn't prove that had happened to one woman.
No
wow,
proof.
I didn't know the verdict.
Yeah, no proof of anything.
Wow.
Like so, but it's just as bad. It's
And he
just
still lost his pudding pops.
it's just. Come on, bro. But
I can't even let
pudding pop.
Yeah. Ooh.
Real though, his legacy's
Sweet
ruined.
thing.
Right?
Nah, but for real though, because it's when you look into it, he was trying to buy NBC and all of that stuff, and that's when it all popped off. But to me, it's like the same as when a black man would be accused of rape by a white woman. It's like you're guilty off top. Not even.
the Emmett
Let's
Till
not even
story.
say. Let's not even say just a black man. Any man right now, a woman says he raped me, you're done.
Right.
You're done.
I will say from cases, if it's toward a minority, especially a black man, I mean, there is definitely a stronger.
There's a
lean there.
stronger.
Because I've seen cases where it was a white kid and like he went.
It goes away.
Football, especially
A star football player, and
Bro,
he has
that's
promised.
happened several
what about
times.
So many times.
What about the Duke lacrosse players? Like,
What happened?
They
Or the guy they proved he raped the guy recently. My man's from Stanford. His family.
they caught him raping the
he
young
raped the
lady.
girl and gets out in
was that the
6
one where
months.
They were in that back.
Yeah, he raped them behind a trash can.
Yeah.
Like now, this is
not
the
even
craziest part. Like, and I don't want to
Did
like
he get off
lay
it?
on that story, but like,
Get off on that?
yeah, he got off. He got off for like 30 days.
He did about 6 months.
No. I think they tried to charge him with 6, but he didn't have to serve the whole.
He didn't serve the whole. He went to jail. He just didn't serve the whole.
I think I read about that. Like,
Yeah, he got out, but it was because and I don't even we don't even got to give him more notoriety than he does.
Facts,
but yeah,
facts.
it's because of his family and ties. But it's like it's almost like you're when it comes to that. You know, there's there's too much power.
Agreed.
In
I have
accusation.
I have
like
a few stories because I used to be a victim advocate, and I did.
Used to be a what?
Victim advocate.
in,
I thought you
in
said
talking about in the
victim
military,
African, bro.
right?
No, in general, I was a sexual assault counselor,
Really?
and also prevention type things. You know, education is power, all that crap. And not to be light of the situation, but I had a guy. He was in Pennsylvania, and the girl was here and accused him of raping her and doing different stuff to her, and he literally had to prove with gas receipts, yada yada, that he wasn't even in this because her timeline wasn't jiving.
Yeah.
So he was in a completely different part of the country, and then before he proven innocent. He automatically was getting chaptered, you know, automatic court martial.
Just like Michael Jackson.
Automatic.
Automatic,
man,
like,
that's crazy.
His
bro.
whole career was, and
Yeah.
then that stigma sticks with you because you're a high speed person, and then all of a sudden your boss thinks that you're a complete dirtbag.
Yeah. And I
man.
don't want to interrupt. I don't want to interrupt you, so I cut everybody off. But I do want to say situations like that. Like, it's a weird situation. Like, I heard a podcast that made me think about it from both perspectives or whatever I was sharing with Paul earlier. But like, on one hand, you do want men who are having this. Oh, bro. Also, let's come back to this. I think white privilege is starting to dwindle, and it only applies to women. But we'll get there in a second. We'll get there in a second.
If you're a white man, you're still the enemy.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there, bro. I thought about this today.
Yeah.
But
And we'll swim back to marriage.
yeah, then we'll swim back to marriage. But one of the things I thought about is that on one hand, you don't want to let men off who are sexual deviants and abusing women, right? We want to take that matter serious. But on the other hand, we got to stop making villains out of men who haven't done this. Like, I have a young lady in our workplace at me and Paul's workplace who literally said this, and when she said it, I was like, oh snap, like, I'm surprised that a woman's admitting this, right? And she goes, there's a difference between being sexually assaulted and having a bad sexual experience and regretting it. And she said, whenever we start to label it sexual assault, then we take the real effects of women who are being raped, who are being, you know, taken advantage of or molested or whatever the case is, and making light of it. She said, I've had encounters as a grown woman where I've slept with a man and the next day been like, oh my God, why did I do that? And I hide from him. I'm upset with him, even though he didn't do anything that I didn't allow. You know what I'm saying?
What a mature thought.
Yeah, yes. And I mean, there's a very mature woman, like, you know who she is, Paul,
Yeah.
but a very mature woman. And she's like, I'm not making excuses for men. But if I'm drinking, I'm at your house and I'm flirting and touching on you, and then I may not be in the mood, but I wanted to get you to want me, and then I got you there to finally desire me, and I'm like, oh, I didn't want to have sex, but I'm gonna do it because I led you here.
That's not rape.
That's not sexual assault. That's not rape, and that's the difference. Like with the Aziz Ansari story, like I finally got to hear the whole
Right.
story.
Hey, that's real, bro.
Shout out to Aziz, man. Like, whether I'm not saying I'm a advocate of his or a fan of his, because we don't know which way this pendulum is going to swing or how many other people are going to come out and say that they have a different story. But Aziz's story was crazy. Like,
Yeah, I
he
read
was
the
at
whole
the
thing.
apartment. So the girl writes a letter to a blogger
Yeah.
after them breaking up, essentially. Young lady comes to his house. They start drinking, flirting, messing around. The young lady says she's uncomfortable. He's like, yo, if this is not fun for you and not cool for you, it's not cool for me, right? They leave, go to a restaurant, have some meals, and then the young lady goes back to his house. They start messing around.
Gets physical.
It gets physical. Thank you. That was a good way to say it. I was trying to be clean so that Rep the King don't take us down. Shout out to Rep the King Radio. But it gets physical more than a kiss and more than heavy petting. Let's just say that. But
Heavy petty.
But the text line
bro, I've
up,
been to a lot of HR classes. That's what we can call it without
Heavy
getting in trouble.
petting,
Heavy
bro?
petting.
aggressive hugging. It was more than a side
But
hug.
it goes beyond that.
Yeah.
And then the next day, he calls her and says, is everything cool? They're
Yeah.
texting and having a normal conversation. And then a little while later, she's like, no, he sexually assaulted me.
Well, if you
can't
look
do
at the
that.
article, she only did that after she had talked to one of her buddies,
Right.
and then like I don't know what the whole I can't assume what they were talking about, but the article that I was reading was saying that everything was cool. Like you said, he said, "Are you cool with this?" Or are you? If I didn't mean to if you're not cool with it, I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. And he was trying to be nice about it. And then all of a sudden she flipped after talking to her girlfriend. Yeah.
And let's be clear. I'm confident no rapist out there has that kind of language. I'm confident.
Real talk.
Never been there.
That's
Real
a good
talk.
argument. But I did hear
no episode of SVU have I seen the
Yo, I'm about to murder you. Are you okay with this? This knife is about to puncture your
It'll be
lung.
slightly uncomfortable.
Are you cool?
It's
And
a
we're not
whole
making light of the
different
situation.
But not
at
at
all.
all.
Although I think
Not
it's
at all.
Thing connect.
I do think it's important to find humor and heal and reveal.
Reveal, then you can heal.
Because if not, you get. I start getting ugly in my mind about humanity. And
Real talk.
brothers. Like, I need to find humor somewhere.
Because
Relieve the pressure.
because what I see right now in culture, it seems like almost like there's almost a fear like of being a successful individual in the culture.
Heck yeah, but let me get to that.
Yeah.
So I heard a woman's perspective on a podcast of the whole Aziz Ansari situation. And I'm not saying I agree with her, and I'm not saying I disagree with her. What I'm saying is that we're a men's podcast, and so I don't want to be insensitive
Right.
to how women
Yeah,
are
yeah.
feeling. But what she said is something that gleamed on us, especially all of us in the room, right? Because I would say that we're public figures, and we come into contact with thousands of people regularly that this may be an effect, right? But the young lady said that you have to realize before they got on the date that he was Aziz Ansari. So that's already power that he has over her to manipulate her even unknowingly. Meaning,
okay.
the moment Aziz went in there, he's
Yep.
just, I'm Aziz. Like, I'm just a normal dude.
Yeah.
I'm a normal guy. But that this lady said that women romanticize public figures. So before they get into a situation, the females get into a situation, he has a certain amount of power over her to where she feels that what I've made in my mind as this romantic future for us can be challenged if I don't comply with the sexual desires of this young man.
Wow.
Which is where you said the podcast started chiming about women need to be more careful of romanticizing a guy they just met.
My boy
Right.
Jay, he said that she said she was interested in his camera.
Yeah, that was the first thing. Like
I saw that.
he was taking pictures with an old school like film camera, and she had brought the same one. So at first he was just kind
So
of
they met on
off.
common ground.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. But she knew he was Aziz, bro.
But you know,
But let me get
She
to
was
this
with
and
the
I'm
date
done.
too. She was with another date.
Right. So, man, I almost
And they
said
talk-
something. If we went on this
Man.
podcast, I'd said something else. But anyway, the point is that it made me be hyper aware of how many times like a female may have been like, let's do it later. And I'm like, nah, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and even though I've never been accused of anything like that, nor have I ever been like someone who was sexually assaulted, like, and this is something that I think just us in the room need to know. I've never been the first person to make that kind of move. Like every sinful relationship that I went into prior to marriage, even with my wife, they were the aggressors. The females were the aggressors the first time. And I was like,
Shout out to Kaylin.
I know, shout out to her, man. She aggressive.
Hey, let's be clear. Nobody would have believed you though.
Yo, this podcast almost went the complete opposite way. Connect for real.
Good save, man. Good save.
But the point is, I've never been the one to make that initial first
Yeah.
time. And I've had, even my first time, I regret it. And I talked about this on the Brothers podcast with SM Soldier. My first time, I regret it. But I wasn't sexually assaulted.
Right.
I put myself in a bad situation. I made a bad decision, and I went through with it. And now spiritually, I'm still dealing with some of the ramifications of what happens, and even with finding self-control in certain areas like of our lives, like we fall because of that. So on both sides, I want to be delicate. Yes, women can be sexually assaulted. Women have been raped, and women have been attacked. And I want to make sure that we are getting proper counseling for that, proper convictions, and even proper counseling for the people who are causing the rapes and things of that nature. But at the same time, we can't victimize and vilify men who have relationships that didn't go the way you wanted. You know what I'm saying? But as us, to stay safe, we're public figures.
Yeah.
And make sure that we know what we're getting into. Because even when we're not doing anything wrong, a public figure is all that we want them to fail.
And
why
what
I don't-
and
that's
really
why I don't smile.
and what the word and what the no real talk. He said no smile, like real talk. Like, man, I be at shows and stuff. I'm gonna look you in the eye, talk, but when it comes to interacting with women, I get so uncomfortable. Like I don't even want to look them in the eye. Be like, yeah, like because there's so many signals that can be misinterpreted.
Right.
I'm not an ugly man.
No.
I smile at you. You might.
handsome, son.
Yeah.
But real
so
talk,
pretty.
but this makes the Bible ring so true though, because at the end of the day, like the word says, to avoid the very appearance of evil. Like some of these brothers, if they weren't even, there's safety in marriage. Let's say that, bro. It's safety.
It's not.
It's safe.
This is the argument I thought about.
Okay,
It's
okay.
not. So
Why
I
not,
talked to
though?
Paul about
Why
this
not?
today.
Why
Talked
not?
about Paul a little bit about this today. Me and Kaylin get into an argument tomorrow over coffee. I get mad. I throw down her coffee cup. She goes to the news and tells people I'm abusive and I sexually assaulted her. They don't care that that's my wife.
Wow.
They don't care.
She could, not that she would.
Well, when
If
I
you
meant
have
it
to-
I meant it in the that's a perspective. I meant it in the situation in the sense
drama.
of if you're not out here pursuing sexual relationships with women, etc., like the Aziz situation.
Yeah,
If he's married, he doesn't even have to be put in a situation where he's like, yo, is this cool? Is it good? Is it right? He has his wife.
You know what you
and
need to do?
there should be some
Except then
level
you
of
start talking
consent.
about broken relationships and men who are unfulfilled and don't understand where their happiness is.
And this is no judgment to
You know what-
like.
you know
I
what
mean,
you
it
need
is
to
what it
do?
is, but.
You need to provide that love contract, like Dave Chappelle said.
Wait, what? Wait, I don't know this joke, bro. Why
that
don't I
love
know this
contract.
Yeah, on the Dave
Dave
Chappelle
Chappelle?
show, there was a skit where like he's with a chick and they're about to, and he's like, wait. He pulls out this contract. He's like, and it has all these stipulations, and they got to sign it before they, before they engage.
crazy.
That's great.
That's almost where it's getting to where it's like
that
we
also-
need paperwork to prove that
bro.
But also, like you were talking about women being aggressive. One of my boys was telling me, like, he's married and everything. And he's like, nah, just get away. This one girl, like, basically, followed him to the bathroom and tried to lock themselves in. And like, how do you get out of that situation without getting in trouble? Because
Right.
the perception of you just came out the bathroom with this chick.
you got to
Oh,
be
that's
like
a
Joseph,
fact,
bro.
right?
Like
And then if
Joseph,
you
bro. You got to be like Joseph,
Run out of Potiphar's
bro.
house.
Yeah, and then you try to push her off you, and like say you push her and she falls and hits her head or something. Then
That's the story.
Now
I was telling
she's
you earlier
Potiphar's
about
wife.
The young lady who sexually assaulted me. Like I was just stuck.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to.
I've been-
I don't want to
wait,
be. Like,
I'm
in your house.
I've been in
on
that
top of
situation
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
I've been in that situation. Matter of fact, like you said, me and my home. This was when I was a freshman in college. Me and my homies, literally the furthest thing from our mind. We were just enjoying our evening. We were like playing. We were at these chicks' apartment. It was like me and two other my homies. We hadn't talked with these girls about that. We were playing some card games. We were about to get up to leave. Then all of a sudden, like they were the aggressors. Like next thing you know, you're like, whoa, what's happening right now?
If
You know what I'm saying?
If you turn her down or scorn her, what kind of wrath is coming
I
after
felt
that?
disgusted.
Yo.
I felt disgusted
All
after.
traders have- for real. You know, like Wayne has that line. Oh, I can't even say the line.
Yeah,
but
yeah, don't
I come
say
to
it.
my senses,
I know,
you what I'm
yeah,
saying? But there's one of the things that I thought about, and Paul said this in passing once, and I think it's almost real to where like for new dudes who are starting new relationships. Like, first of all, I recommend waiting till marriage period. Like,
exactly.
it creates a safer, it's not safe, but a safer environment for the
And this is
intimacy.
Well, I've had
that's
the
not
same
even
situation.
cliche. Like for real.
I'm in the
Like
same situation where I was like, not in the word and not doing the right thing. Say in the world, and where I had the same thing. Like the next morning, I woke up and it was not the experience I wanted.
right, you feel
And-
disgusted. Like,
And then you feel disgusted, and it's
Them club lights made her look great. The sunlight made her look like a vampire.
you know that the goggles come off, and it's
right.
it's like what
Bro, that's why these boys out here like, man, forget women. I'm going with the robots.
no, great segue. Great segue.
You saw what I did
Great
there?
segue.
Great,
What's
great.
Listen, y'all are tripping. Y'all are tripping.
Bro.
If y'all think me and Connect were talking about this briefly earlier. If y'all think that a sex doll can replace the warmth,
I feel so uncomfortable right now.
we said it was going the wrong way. It was gonna go the
Here's
wrong
what I
way.
will say. I told Jay.
hold on. If you think
Go
it can
ahead,
replace the warmth and
Comfort.
Jay's looking at me. The companionship, the conversation and all of the other wonderful things that come with a woman.
Cooking you dinner.
A sex doll is nothing more than advanced masturbation.
Bro,
Let's be real.
That's a fact.
Let's
forget the doll, bro. Did you hear about how in Japan there's a Nintendo DS game where you pop the game into the Nintendo DS?
What?
And it's a girlfriend, and there's no intimate, there's no physical anything. They just talk to this computer all day, and it's like a gigapet, bro. Y'all remember the gigapets back in the day?
What?
Where you just continuously you could feed her love, you could feed her affection, and they're just playing and they're falling in love with this Nintendo game.
There was a movie that came out recently about that.
About the phone.
Yeah.
About falling in love with the app on the phone.
So here's my.
So they connect that to the doll.
But you know what? Is that any different than porn?
I have a question.
Because they have proven scientifically that there's a chemical response that happens in your brain.
Bro, can you say pornography? Because when you say porn, I just feel uncomfortable. I'm trying to stay on Rep the King.
Well, let me say, I have a question though. I mean, does this have a direct effect with all the increase in mental illness that's going on? Because we're so wrapped up in technology and filling all of our human voids that we're not even interacting with an actual human anymore.
Facts.
You hit something
Is it
that I
attacking
want
on
Paul
social
to say.
media?
Oh snap! That's real. That's real too.
But now for real, finish.
So
Yeah.
here's a thought for ladies on the reverse side. As boastful and as testosterone filled as men seem, we have fragile egos.
Facts.
Fragile egos. So
I cried on my wife's shoulder last night.
For real?
Real
Oh, we
talk.
talking about this on the podcast. We
Yeah,
talking
I
about
cried.
live, bro.
like even in my current relationship, any relationship, like you can still hurt my feelings bad.
I've
You
seen
can
that.
easily.
Real talk.
So when you talk about robot dolls and pornography and whatnot, I get it. I can look at it and get it. Like my PlayStation's never gonna turn me down. Okay?
Yo, Paul Atreides calls his PlayStation his black girlfriend, bro. Don't lie.
And it was Sony. Many hours of love. Always there for me, man.
She even got a ghetto name, bro. Her name is
Sony.
Sone.
No, it's not- So that's just a real
Sony.
thought. If you're pursuing a relationship with a man,
PlayStation.
you really balance that out in your mind, because that while that physical connection is affirmation of emotional weight of like, you do love me, you want me in your life.
Yeah.
And so I know we get caught up in life. I know we get caught up in a lot of just things. Just something to think about when you're with men, instead of just tag along for a free dinner. There's a lot of emotional weight going there.
And I heard a lot of women say that too. Like they'll go on like dating websites, and a guy will ask them out, and they'll be like, "Well, at least it's a free dinner. Like I didn't like him, but at least I got a dinner out of the situation."
Wow.
And like, so imagine like how we felt when we were at prepubescent age. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me for messing that word up. But when we were like unsure with ourselves, unconfident, like, you know, you gotta, your first time in middle school, you gotta go take a shower in front of all the other dudes, like. And now,
hey, real talk,
Did you
bro.
take
That's
real?
the
Did your
scariest
school
thing
have
ever.
the
That's the
showers with
scariest thing
spigot?
ever,
There's
bro.
Especially for the
five
coaches.
of them
no, I
right
never
there.
did that. I never joined football. I literally did not join football
had to
because
do
I didn't
that.
want to shower with dudes.
Nah,
Especially
yeah,
if
that's
the
the
coach is holding your
That's the
towel.
scariest thing ever, bro.
Especially if the coach is holding your towel and smiling at you.
I didn't have that experience,
But
bro.
think about this, right? So now the next generation is like, I just want to avoid all of that. I'll buy a doll.
So I get it.
Yeah, like I'm not saying I agree with it happening, but I can understand how people can fall into that trap.
Well, I could
of
see
falling in
also
love
we
with an
just talked
inanimate
about
object.
being accused of rape and stuff, and then a doll is not going to accuse you of rape.
This hurts my feelings.
I mean,
Dang, bro.
you know,
But see, but how do we
Girl, she
get?
turned me
I get
off.
that,
You
but
don't
how do we?
you
How
don't
do
get
we,
rejected. You
but
don't
we,
get none of
but
that.
really, they're really considering that sex dolls are gonna replace women. Like men,
Bro,
really.
the dolls have been out. It's robots
Yeah.
now
They
that gyrate and that
about-
have motion and have that warmth that you were talking about a moment ago.
they're advanced
They're
technology.
replicating these
Think about
things,
every
bro.
They're not
dude
gonna hold
out-
you after though.
Think about
Bro, the robots do, bro.
They'll hold you,
Bro.
Yeah.
Man,
Think about every
this-
dude out there right now camping looking for Sasquatch. he ain't in a relationship. He's looking for UFOs. Nobody wants to be with him.
Shout out to my brother Jed.
So
Shout out to you, Jethro.
he's tried.
Living off
he
the
got
land.
rejected, so he found like-minded people. Let's go hunt this mythical creature. Because all I realized was we hugged and held the night, and nobody will do that. Fine.
Let's go.
Wow.
Bro, and you know how many people like
Can't find love, find Sasquatch.
but you know how many people are literally like, because of the internet now, can find a accompaniment of other people who feel the exact same as you.
Yeah.
Like, even though you may be in like 0.0000007% of what you believe and that loneliness that you feel, that's still thousands of people that can tell you that your decision was right. And so you find, like, I see now how kids can fall into this. I see, like, I know men in my life who I'm like, bro, I know you ain't got a woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. Let's be real.
Yeah,
like, they lack the social cues. They lack the social skill set. And so I can see how that loneliness can drive you to that place.
Absolutely.
But here's another thought
got
that I want to
shifty
talk,
eyes.
and then we'll go back to, yes, bro. Then we'll go back to marriage, is I don't think that there's somebody for everybody.
Ooh.
I don't think that God has designed a partner for everybody. I think that some people were blessed.
I think
with
that's
the
even
gift.
biblical too.
Yes, bro. But I think that some people were blessed with the gift of being able to be single.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
even though they may be lonely, that doesn't mean that companionship was their call.
Wow.
Look
know
at
what I'm saying?
those missionaries. I know a young lady right now. She's in some random country we're not allowed to say right now.
Yeah.
But like,
Or they shut down the government.
but anyways, she's a friend of ours, and she's never had. I mean, that companionship. She's always sought out education and
Right.
being.
That's
able
been
to-
her fulfillment.
Yeah, her
Yeah,
fulfillment
yeah.
and her void has been by learning the Word of God and learning and become a missionary. And you know that she's translating the Bible into languages we don't even.
Mother Teresa.
Wow.
Mother
Queen
Teresa's
Elizabeth.
another one. Yeah.
Wow.
We all have somebody in our life, and I don't want to tell her business on the podcast, but who's in her 40s, beautiful woman, still a virgin, because she's like, no, I'm just good. I'm happy with doing what God has called me to do. Her father is a pastor. She's like, if God sends a man and we connect, cool. I'm not pursuing that. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
beautiful.
But with that
That
being
she knows
said,
herself.
yeah. But with that being said, how many people don't know what their call is, don't know what
Right.
they're called to be and what to do, and they feel like, oh, I gotta get a girlfriend because everybody has one, and I can't get one. I'm gonna get this robot.
We're
We
gonna
just kinda
try
going
this.
back to
This
marriage.
Eric is really wanting. We're
Yo,
gonna try
Eric is
this.
a fool,
Please.
bro. Before you put him in, you just got a warning. The views and opinions expressed
Explicit.
by his literal Snapchat name is S.A. like S.A. He goes by Little Moco before you put him on.
Little mocha, little booger.
Yes,
I'm trying to bring him.
do you want?
But with that being said, man, like I can understand how people could fall into that point and
Hey,
need
you're so lonely.
companionship.
Give me this robot.
Yo,
But
so
I think that the biggest thing is, and what I struggled with as well, is like putting other things before God and everything, you know. So like,
Yeah.
if anything is a struggle, and if you're out there actively looking so hard for a mate,
yeah,
are you really doing it in the light that you should be doing it? Because you're going to be, I guess, misled because you're so desperate to be in that type of relationship.
I've met a lot of people give up
Yep.
on their passions and their desire and their calls and their talents and their skill set for a companion.
I did that.
And they just give up on everything they say God has called them to be.
Wow.
For a wife,
Right.
or for a husband.
I did that.
I know several
Oh, yeah,
people,
good
not
friends. Yeah.
recently.
I did that.
They get distracted. They have a great calling. You see their talent.
Yeah,
Everyone's
we
all-
have a good friend. Like, good point.
And they get distracted with these trying to pursue relationships.
Did-
You're
Yeah.
a beautiful.
I did that.
amazing
My one of my past relationships. I sold all my equipment. I gave up everything. Didn't do music. I literally just threw away thousands and thousands of CDs. You know,
Yeah.
just to lose that relationship and get back into music or whatever.
So how did you get back? Like, so what? Like, I know you gave it all up. How did you? And this is for people who may have been in that current situation now. How did God or how did you
Gotcha.
feel led to get back to where you are now?
Well, there's two aspects to it. Like the first aspect is I was able to give that up. It wasn't controlling my life.
Good.
So that was one thing that helped me understand and balance that. The next thing is I started, you know, I was by myself alone doing whatever. And I started filling that time with music or just reading and learning.
After the breakup.
Learning, trying to figure out what I was doing wrong first and foremost, learning what I did and how because, you know, there's always two sides of the story, and trying to make myself better. And then also having an outlet because I don't want to have that.
Would you say
anger.
discovering yourself?
Basically.
Like finding, okay.
Yeah, discovering yourself, whatever. And then on top of that, I still had that fire in me. Like once I picked it up again, I was like, I'm really good at this.
Yeah.
I need to start making this and honing the skill and getting better and better. And it wasn't until maybe 6 or 7 years ago now that I started picking up music again, and like I feel like I'm learning everything all over again because the game totally changed when I started doing it again. And then what's even better is my wife now totally supports what I do,
Right,
and is
right.
like, okay, we need to write down a schedule. You need to practice this many hours today, and you
Right.
need. And if you don't have that,
That's important, man.
you don't have that support system, or you don't have that somebody that believes in you, you're gonna give up that stuff.
So both of those are
Facts,
gifts. Like if you think about it, seclusion, to time to be alone, to reflect on who you are,
Right.
what your calling is, what your purpose is important. Like I thought about Jesus, right, who went into the wilderness to be alone.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And to commune with who he is, to get realigned with.
And
he
you
was
know
the
what?
Son of God, and he had to pull away from everybody.
And
Right.
my favorite part about that text is that it says the Holy Spirit drove him into the wilderness.
I love it. I love it.
And so,
I love
you
it.
know, like the times we feel alone, we feel isolated, like it might be ordained by God for us to really, he might be wanting us to be hidden in the cleft.
So singleness and loneliness can be a gift. Especially thinking about how lonely the cross was, right? Like Jesus being on the cross was like probably one of the lowest moments ever. But also marriage can be a gift as well. Like
Facts.
And me and Paul were talking about this in the car about how many things have improved in our lives. Like me and him were joking about even our diet has improved.
Facts.
Because like we were talking about, man, we ain't never had cauliflower. Like he's almost
Yeah.
40 years old. He just had cauliflower for the first time
Tonight. Shout out to my wife. Love you.
But these are things that like we wouldn't pursue. So like we need to be thankful for both seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You know what
what's
I'm saying?
grateful.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for my wife too. Is if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have recovered from my back surgery or whatever. Because not only she had,
Yo, this sounds like it's gonna be the dirtiest day, bro.
not only when I broke my back, when I first met her, she was like, "Man, you're really weak for being such a big dude. Like you don't."
Right,
She was
right.
making fun of me. I couldn't even do burpees and stuff.
Right.
And this was when she was doing MMA and like super fit and doing all this stuff. Not 9 months pregnant, you know. But it was, I was kind of offended, but at the same time, I didn't want to tell her like, hey, I got like some mad issues. My feet fall asleep and I can't walk. You know, it's like
Right.
I was walking literally and randomly I'd fall down. Like they call it drop foot. So you would just lose feeling in your legs and it just go away because
Dang.
my discs were so compressed and so basically the tension between everything. It was pushing against my spinal cord. All the nerve endings and all the nerves, everything was just done. And so when she was like, "What is wrong with you?" She noticed the way I was walking. If she wouldn't have encouraged me to fight to get an MRI, fight to get this stuff done, like literally when they got the MRI, they said, "You're going to the orthopedic surgeon today."
Yeah.
Like they're like, "I've never seen it this bad. Why are you still messing around?" And the people, I'm over here trying to run 5 miles down Fort Hood Street and like still trying to keep up, you know,
Yeah.
because I'm like hardcore or whatever, but I'm like sucking, you know. But anyways, so and then on top of that, you know, I went from being a bad dude to nothing.
Right.
So
Humility.
So you know what I'm saying? Like anything I did was successful. I could, you know, I could bench press. I could do, not even just bench press. Like I would go 7 days without sleep on a mission, just doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was on my back, on my stomach, on Percocet for 4 years, depressed. You know, just they had me on lithium, and even before that, they had me on like my last deployment in Iraq. I went out on a mission. I would come back, get a shot, and get Percocets. I was high and so much pain, like it's beyond everything. So not only is the narcotics, but you're depressed because you can't do nothing. You're in constant pain.
Right.
And if
And
it
she
wasn't
helps you through that.
if it wasn't for her, she not only is a doctor of physical therapy, she knows all the body and how to help that, but she also noticed how I was mentally, and she's like, you know what,
Right.
get up. We're going for a walk, you know,
See,
get
and
up. And
even-
like you just
And even though Paul talks about singleness being a gift, the scripture also says it's not good that man be alone.
Right.
So he created woman
Yeah.
out of the rib of Adam.
As a help me.
That's a fact, bro. Like when you think about marriage, like that's the most vulnerable we ever are, right?
Right.
This
Real
is the person
talk.
that we literally
it's also the worst you ever are because you're treating that person the worst because you're so close to them. You're
can't.
comfortable.
You can't.
You can, yeah,
it's
you right.
possible.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Some of us are competitive.
Think
though.
about like you literally are naked in front of this person. And I don't
Yeah.
mean to be like too graphic, but they
Yeah.
can literally view
Yeah.
you and see every flaw you have.
Yep.
And that's the person who's supposed to help you to navigate through the remainder of your life if it's done correctly and effectively, and you're not abusing each other and like utilizing your hurt and then projecting it onto that person as if they're a target. Like, you know how people paint when they're angry and they just make these angry paintings, like, but your wife is not a canvas to be.
No, and I told my wife this
Disrespected.
tonight. So I know a lot of us talk that talk, except I actively work to not care what people think about me, to be an example for my boys. Because I don't like if I care what you think about me, it affects my integrity. It affects what I'll say or do.
Woo, stop. That's the problem with a lot of churches nowadays is the integrity of the pastors and the preachers and the leaders. But back to you, King.
Try and be an example. Be yourself. So with that being said, I told her, I say, there's only 3 people I care what think about me. You and my boys. I don't even care what my mom and dad think about me. I said, if they're happy about me, great. Beautiful. You're your own people, though. I said, I strongly work to not care what people think about me, except for the 3 of you. I'm vulnerable to them, to your point.
Yeah.
I am vulnerable to them. I do care how you view me. I do care how you see me. And I want you to be proud of me.
And like you said, you're naked in the sense of you can't hide. Like my wife knows. She knows when there's something wrong. I can't even like. I'd be like, no, like last night. Like I was saying, like I cried on her shoulder.
I wanted to hear this story.
Nah, real talk, because like this, no,
sounds
real
like a romance novel.
Nah, real talk though. Like
Lifetime movie.
this week, I don't like. This week was like this been a rough week for me. Like these last couple of days.
Situation, bro.
No,
They charge you cars twice at the hotel.
They charged my charge twice, cuz I had to get it right. Nah, but like trying like I don't even know. Like sometimes just you feel like I feel like I'm 28. I feel like. Yo, I don't have no like career. I feel like I don't have a career path I've gotten. And even though I consciously I know you're like, shut up, dummy. Like you're not even 30 years old yet. Like it's not as if you've met, but in my heart, like in my soul, I feel like I've been wasting. I feel like I've wasted every opportunity I've had to succeed. Like when I graduated high school, I figured out how to get an ROTC scholarship, but then I failed out of college. Then I went to the military, and I didn't, fell out of the military. Right, I didn't fail out of the military or anything like that. But I'm like, I'm thinking now. I'm like, if I would have just stayed in there, I'd be almost halfway to retirement right now. Like you just start thinking, and you be like. And then, I don't know. It's so easy, I feel like, to get into a depressed mindset.
Sure.
It's so easy to fall into that.
Bro, this week, literally,
Yeah.
normally I would have these same conversations that you're talking about with my wife.
Yeah.
And again, like Paul, I had this conversation with Paul, and I want you to continue to share these things because I feel like you're getting somewhere more.
Yeah.
And these people need to hear what's
They
going on.
need to hear
So
it,
keep
man.
going, kid.
So I'm sitting there. And so like yesterday, I was just like, it was just a rough one yesterday and the day before, it just was rough. Like just battling mentally of trying to really feel like that I'm worth anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. It's crazy because just a few days ago, somebody hit my inbox, those random messages we get where, yo, I heard your music and we're going to use your music to minister to these people, and then you're like, all right, cool. Thank you, Lord, for that encouragement. But then you're like, I feel like it doesn't make sense. Like I'm not aware. I don't see the impact for myself.
I think you're also trying to figure out what you want to be when you're growing
right.
up.
I'm trying to
it's like-
real
if I can
talk.
chime in here,
Real talk.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So I pride myself on logic and analysis.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing is, so far, it sounds like you and many of us, and this is my views,
Right.
are still socially programmed to pursue a career. None of that
Right.
matters.
You're right.
It's junk. It's junk. The biggest influence, the biggest change, the contributions you're making are in this house right now.
Right.
In this room, though we love you.
Right.
It's in this house.
Right.
The people you're going to society to contribute something back to the world. That's a beautiful thing. Like kind of like God gave Jesus. We're giving our children back to the world. If we could just raise them right, if we can make them positive.
Yo, drop a bomb on that, bro. the way God gave Jesus to the world, we're giving our.
You're leaving. Hey, it's like they say.
You see why
Proverbs.
he's my mentor, bro? You see why I listen to this man, bro?
So it's taken me a while.
Yeah.
And thinking about my first son and growing up, it took me a while to.
Hey, that's good,
I
bro.
think about your
That's
culture,
good.
I think about myself. I always go back to tribalism. I start stripping down all of this. I'm like, and you said on the first podcast I was on, episode 2, where you're like, let's get past religion, let's get past society, let's get to human. And I'm thinking about, I'm like, man, all God wants for me as his son is to be happy. All I want for my son is to be happy.
Yeah.
All of this means nothing. If you pursue higher education and you play that game, know you're playing a game. If you're trying to make your application look good for some random stranger who doesn't know your value like I do, know you're playing a game. All I want is your happiness, as long as you're not hurting anybody. You're hurting somebody, we're going to tell that's a different conversation.
Right.
Though seriously though, what I hear from you though, you're the guy I've seen, the music I've heard, and the just meeting your children and seeing your wife and talking, I'm like, you have so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just maybe start
Man,
balancing, be
bro.
more logical.
And I wanna
him
echo your
saying that,
sentiments.
like
Yeah.
him saying that, that's the stuff that I consciously know. Like
Yeah.
that's the.
got you.
Those are the things that when I get to feeling this way, because like what my wife was like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't even." Because I consciously
Yes,
look, I'm
bro.
like, I'll tell you, the highlight of my day every day, 2 things, is being able to drop my children off to school every day.
Yeah. That, you know,
And
and I
picking
never
them up.
knew how important that would mean to me. Like,
Facts.
Now I
Facts.
start reflecting on how many times my dad took me to school.
Right.
Yeah.
And what that meant to him. Like, I understand that now.
Right.
Like, you know
Like
what I'm
that,
saying?
like the dropping them off, but then they don't know, like some days they don't even know like how much life they give me when they get home.
Facts.
And they run, and you know,
They
and I'm
run
up
to
here,
you.
and they're like,
They
"Dad,"
yell,
like, and I'm like, and the daddy, where are you? You know, and it's like, you know what?
And then
At
5
least
minutes later, they're
for
tearing you
another,
up.
yeah, right, for another day, I can keep, you know what I'm saying?
And that's the
Because
reward
they're
that God
oblivious.
gives us, bro. Like, that's the reward. Like, and everything you're saying, bro. Like,
Facts.
no lie. 2 years ago, and even as far as what was that, Monday? We had a conversation. I felt that way.
Yeah,
like,
man.
And I literally sat in a room once, and I told him and a bunch of our other friends, I was like, yo, I feel like if when I die, a school's not named after me, or like a street, then like I wasted everything. Like, I didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Because my thought, like, I connected accomplishments with the pleasing of God. I connected. God will be happy with me if I can write enough songs. God will be happy with me if like I impact the community this much. And then the other day, I finally am slipping into real happiness. God is just satisfied that we love him and that we're willing to pursue his commandments with a clean heart and be good people, be good fathers, be good parents. Bro, I sat back at Hip Hop Sunday, right?
Yeah.
And you've been there with me from the beginning.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I sat back at Hip Hop Sunday and looked at that room, and I didn't even do a set. I did one song. I didn't talk on the panel. All I did was introduce my favorite artists in our region, and I watched people be affected, and I got to go home to that hotel. I got to go to that hotel that night and lay my wife down and lay my children. No, not crazy. That's not crazy. I'm crazy. But
I thought he was about to go
I
left.
laid my wife down. I laid my daughters down.
Yeah.
And my children were asleep, and I heard them breathing, and I was in
Wow.
my soul. I heard, "Well done."
You're trying to hit my tears, man.
Like in my soul, bro,
Man,
I heard, "Well done." Like
Right.
that's
Yeah,
it.
bro.
Yeah.
Yes, like the email we got from the young lady about
Yeah.
the podcast.
Oh,
the
wow, that
email
was
we
a-
got from the young man. I don't want to talk about it because I don't know what they want to know.
Yeah.
But the young man about the Father's podcast, the
Yeah.
young women about the children, like the people who email us, who we're inspiring, bro. Like we're doing what God has called us to do, and we try to attach our accomplishments to this world. Like he said about getting this degree, so I can walk. Like I spend thousands of dollars to get this degree. I get this piece of paper, walk into an office for you to tell me I'm not good enough.
Or I'm overqualified.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel you on that because
Like
the
you've gone too fast.
last
You've
few
gone too far.
months, I wouldn't say a few weeks, like I've been the same way because I'm still trying to transition because you do something for 20
We're
years.
revealing to heal right now.
Yeah, hey, you just do something for 20 years, and then you got nothing. I wouldn't say I got nothing, but
Right.
I feel like I have
Your purpose almost you tied your purpose
everything's
to
taken
that.
away
Yeah.
from me. Everything was taken away from me, and when I got injured, I had to go through that, and then I retired, and then I had to go. I'm still going through it because not only that is this is right around the time frame where I moved or was deployed. That 2 to 3 year time frame.
Yeah.
Every 2 years, I was sent to a different country. I was sent to a different place, and
there was a mission.
And there was a mission.
Yeah.
There was something, and I say the same thing, similar to you, Jay, because the moment that I'm grateful is, you know what, my son doesn't have to deal with that, missing his father for a year at a time, 15 months at a time. I'm grateful because the timing that it would happen, we had our son right when I retired. He's going to go to school. I'm going to be out every event that he has to at his school.
Absolutely.
Because everything.
So
So like you said, I drop him off in the morning.
Yeah.
I pick him up and he's like, Dad, you came back.
Yeah,
You got me.
So
I'm like,
that makes
it's
me
like-
him like everything we're saying right now. I just hear like Paul like I've learned to be content, and that
Yes.
scripture.
In all things I've learned to be
every
at
time
base.
I hear that scripture or read it, it baffles me. I'm like,
Paul the
what does
Apostle, not
that?
Paul Atreides.
Word of Paul.
but you also,
what does it mean to learn to be content?
but you're also going through the transition too, because you just got rid of that 9 to 5 type aspect.
Yeah,
And you're
yeah.
going on that grind, and that's the other
Trying
thing
to
is,
walk on the water.
Man,
And
it's
that's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
and that's what my wife
and that's
was.
the same
man.
thing with me is you know, we're business owners and stuff.
Yeah.
and we have stuff, but at the same time, like
You feel like it's scared,
It's
real.
weird.
It's fear.
Oh, yeah. It's weird.
It's fear.
don't have-
It's really fear, honestly.
the other thing is too, like, is say in the Army, you had somebody to take that blame.
Right.
To be honest with you,
Financially and
not
everything
even
else.
just that. Like, say if something goes wrong, you don't have.
It's not all on you.
It's not all on you. But,
Right.
But like being a business owner or being in like for DJ Connect, you know, like
Right.
if I subcontract somebody and something doesn't go through, like that's all on me. Not only am I affecting my family's life, but I'm affecting other families' life.
Right.
Like, you know, I
Right.
jokingly say to our employees, like, we pay you too much because you're getting buy a brand new car and stuff. But, but you know, but at the same time, like, if we weren't able to pay them, they wouldn't have a home. You know,
Right.
they wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
It's more than that.
And that's the thing is like how many, again, going back to what we said, how many other people we affect and help, right? And then I wonder, like, if you're a listener right now and you've gone through these things, let us know
Real
that
talk.
we're on. Let us know, like, if this is encouraging you,
Yeah.
and what you've done as tips and suggestions to get through this season of your life, because we're constantly growing. Like I think everybody in this room may have felt this way at one time as a man, but then in the reverse, talking about marriage, bro, I watched my wife not feel this way.
yeah.
Real talk.
Like she is so in trust of God, and I thought about this,
Well,
right?
your wife is your spiritual, like they're that's their strength in the relationship.
No, you know what I found? You know what I found my wife is? My wife is like a mirror of conviction. Like when I look, when I see her like looking settled or like
Wow.
I read it in a book actually. It's this book by David Dieter, and I've been reading this book like for over a year almost, because like I'll read one chapter and just be like, bruh, I have to put it down. One time I read a chapter in there, it hurt my soul, bro. Like for real. Like, have you ever read something and literally physically hurt because of the words you read? Like the Bible does that.
Have I heard an audiobook? Yes.
Yes. Now,
That's
real
how I got
talk
through
though.
college audiobooks.
Yeah, real talk. Audiobooks are wonderful, but nah, like I read in the book and it was like if your wife is looking like she's not keeping herself up, or she's looking depressed, or she's this, it's a reflection of you. It's because of your lack of affirmation, it's your lack of direction, it's your lack of knowing what you're trying to do. She's a reflection of your flaws.
see
When
that
I
too.
read that, I was like,
When I'm going through my little pity party or whatever, it directly like
Absolutely.
affects everything.
Oh,
Because they
my
can be there
God.
for you.
My-
Absolutely.
my-
It'll
my
wear them
son
down.
even
It'll
says
wear them
something.
down.
My son's like, "Hey, Dad, what's wrong?" Like, and he's 3
Oh,
years
yes.
old.
Yeah.
You know,
And
it's
I've
like
seen-
Intuitive though.
They're
yeah,
so
my
intuitive.
daughter picks up quick.
And
She'll
I've seen the effect, like, and not now, because right now God just has me in a different season to where, like, I'm growing into happiness.
Right.
I just look at my life a lot different. But I've gone through seasons where I'm unsettled and the whole house is just is not at rest. Everybody's tense.
Right.
Everybody's quiet because mind you, I was telling
because everybody knows, even the kids, they know.
And everybody may not know this, but when I was 24,
short-tempered.
25, my wife and I took in 3 teenagers. And so we had I had my daughter who was about 2 or 3 at the time, 2 of my wife's nieces and her little cousin.
Wow.
All lived with us for a few months. And I would get so uneasy because I'm like, if I lose this job, none of these people are going to eat. Then I started feeling like you, man, I should have went to college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then
Beat yourself up unnecessarily.
Yes, bro. And I had a series where my car exploded and then my house set on fire. And I didn't cause it, but I felt like I should have had a backup plan.
Yeah.
And the house was just quiet because everybody was like, I don't want to say anything to upset him. And so we are reflecting on what this is. Now, at the same time, through this whole process, Kay was like, we'll just clean it up. We'll just buy a new car. In her mind, she doesn't even stress it. And again, she may be just saying that to ease me, but it works.
Right.
And if she's
Real
comforted,
talk, bro.
and I used to get mad at her because I'm like, you say this because you can go home to your daddy. I can't go home to my daddy. And I used to get so mad at her.
And by the way, if you're hearing this is making sense to you, I love that we're having this conversation right here and now. Let me go parenting tip. Let's make sure this conversation exists outside of this room. Because one of the best things I did for my son and I love my dad. Just one of his failings is he was a typical parent in that he showed no flaws and he showed no difficulties he was going through. So I didn't know how to deal with those things. So we need to be transparent with our children,
That makes sense.
If you're going through it, own up to it. Say when you're sorry. Say when you've been out of place.
Yeah.
So
That
great
clicks
conversation.
because-
Make sure it passes to your household.
And going to your dad, bro, if you don't mind sharing the story about what you were talking about your dad having the holes in his...
yeah,
bro, this story was crazy.
Bro, I feel so bad.
And it's just a level of what fathers go through.
Wait,
And I don't want to get back on fathers because I know we talked about this on another podcast, but marriage,
Right.
leadership, and family.
Also, but if you don't do that, you don't teach them that it is trials in life. They have unrealistic expectations when they go to that marriage.
Absolutely.
Hey, that's facts.
They don't, they picture this.
And I think that's in
This
general
Hollywood
too.
themed, story like nothing.
That's why
No,
women should
that's in
watch
gen.
porn.
Yeah, I was about to say in
If I may,
general.
So, like you said earlier, you were crying. I had to teach myself to cry because I was a typical male. I was emotionally inept and I didn't understand or educated how to express.
Yeah, I let it out,
bro.
Oh, I go crazy,
Because
bro.
my dad was more traditional Hispanic. I'm Hispanic.
Yeah. He's not
Macho.
white. Let's go. He's
So we had
not
to
white.
fix that.
Okay.
Back to what you're saying about my dad. I don't know if y'all had this issue. Not issue. It wasn't an issue. It was something I didn't understand until I got older. So my dad had holes in his socks. He had holes in the tidy whities because it was back in the 80s. We had tidy whities. And we would make fun of him.
My dad
We'd
used to make us
laugh.
wear them tidy whities,
Yeah,
bro.
we would laugh. We'd make fun of him and everything. And not until I became a father did I reflect back and understand. Let me tell you this. We grew up in projects. I had every toy I wanted. I had everything I wanted. And I didn't, after we became a father, did I understand eating tuna at our job or eating those little Vienna sausages that I will sacrifice everything. I'll have holes in my socks today to make sure my kids have for. And he always did that for us, and I didn't understand it. So every whole joke he made, and I felt bad. He cut his jeans to make shorts one day, and he looked at me with a proud face. He's like, oh, look. I'm like, man, those look gay. And I was like, oh, I see the hurt in his face, and I realized now looking back, he was sacrificing everything to make sure I had everything.
They're in style now.
Were they even? At
To
least
think about
They're
that, bro.
even.
His dad was willing to wear clothes with holes in them, to wear cutout, to sacrifice himself, to be completely selfless, to make sure that your child's development is.
My dad gave up a
That's
good
how I feel
job to
now.
become a garbage man so he could see his kids.
That's
think
how I
about
feel
that,
now,
that's
though.
Crazy.
And this will go to our hip hop thing.
Reveal to heal.
But people are like, oh, you need to dress this way, or you need to make sure you dress up, or do this like this. Man, I maybe got 3 nice suits and maybe 3 or 4 nice outfits that I wear the same every time.
Hey, real talk. I got 1 pair of jeans.
Yeah,
Bro, I just wear Kingdom Builders t-shirts everywhere I go.
So nobody realizes.
my DJ Connect solid wardrobe. I wore the same hoodie for 10 days.
I believe in the
Hey,
company.
bro, also I'm 33 pounds down, bro. I need that smaller DJ
Hey, round of
Connect shirt,
applause.
you know what I'm
Round of
saying?
applause
I
for
need
Jay
that
Knight's
smaller-
weight loss,
smaller
man.
DJ Connect joint.
We changing our diets around here, bro.
We on diets around. Everybody is on a diet. Me, you, and Paul Atreides.
Well, it was more of a lifestyle
I'm eating
change.
healthy,
for us.
but I don't know. I eat more now.
Yeah,
I'm
because
trying to-
he's doing the keto.
Yeah.
I'm removed pork and soda and anything sugary except for coffee and water.
I haven't had
And you're trying to
soda.
remove
Yeah,
meat, right?
yeah. As a family, we gave up
That
chicken,
was
beef, and
when
pork.
when
but
I
my-
met Bella, I quit dairy. I quit sodas. I sort of quit ice cream, but
Hey, I'm sorry. Ice cream is
I know
silver.
that dairy is not dairy.
Yeah, Strawberry
you get the
cheesecake
almond
from
milk
Creamy
ice cream,
Creek.
so you
Okay.
good, you good.
Yeah.
But anyways, what I was saying is I don't care about the clothing or whatever, and or my wife, sorry, but she told me not to say her name.
Whoops.
Edit that out.
Dang.
Anyways,
We'll bleep that.
yeah.
She wants no parts of this podcast, bro.
But
and
It's
I
a
would say
liability.
something, but she could beat me up because the MMA fighter.
but the thing is, like, I used to, like, when she met me, I had like all my colors in a row. My J's were in the row. Like everything was
man.
pristine. Like now going to my
Toothbrush
closet,
to the
it's like-
shoes
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I used to go in. Now it's like
I'd take
whatever.
my laces out every time I wore them and bleach them, and like
It was crazy when we were kids. We looked at our parents. We didn't understand.
Right
Now
on.
we're like, oh, you stopped caring. Like,
And you know
it's
what
not
I think it
important
is
anymore.
too? Like at this, and this is so funny because I tell Paul this all the time. Now at this age, you can't beat me up. Like when I was a kid, that's why I did that. Like you don't want to get picked on, you don't want to get bullied. I wish you would try to roast me about my shoes now.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
I love the Lord, but I'm also fast as lightning.
this
I mean,
is
moving
how
for a big boy. I
is
can
how-
move this jelly, bro. Holla at me if you want the
Facts.
war. Holla at me if you want the
And
war.
that makes me think of the battle of this weekend.
Oh yeah, wait. So let's talk about that this weekend. We got 2 events. January
Pull up.
26th, we'll be at Promised Land Church in Austin, Texas, off of 51st Street. Calvin, This Is Real, Brian Trejo, Monica Trejo, Antoine Hill, Aaron, and Jarrell will be at Promised Land
This Friday.
this Friday at 5:30.
I'll probably be in the hospital with my newborn.
And Connect will be at St. David's Medical Center.
Bringing life to the world.
Shout out to New Life.
And Calvin,
Which
tell them
means
about
if
the
you
battle,
do
bro.
have the baby, he probably won't be here next week, bro.
Oh, that's true, bro.
Dang, bro.
No, I got like 4 sets of parents coming.
That's what's up. That's
Oh,
what's up.
okay, all right,
That's
we
what's
good.
up.
My parents
this
are coming.
podcast is more important than your child. I love that, bro. All this good.
I was about to say,
fatherhood talk.
you just show me how to. I was gonna say,
your kid.
just show me how to put the do the sound effects.
No,
But
my
yeah.
parents are coming. My wife's actually taking time off, which she didn't do too much last time. But she's motivated to get into that gym, boy. My whole pantry is about to change now because she's about to get it. She don't have them cravings no more. She about to.
Oh,
So
that ice cream,
Friday we have
man.
Promised Land. Saturday Connect's having a baby.
So
But we'll
so
also
Friday.
be in Arlington, Texas. I'll be in Arlington, Texas with the Eddie James Ministry on
Saturday.
27th and Sunday the 28th. But the most important thing we want to talk about is what, Cal?
Oh, this Saturday, we've been promoting it y'all seen the flyer. Don't act like you ain't seen the flyer. Check my profile pic right now. 2711 South Buckner Boulevard, Dallas, Texas. Urban Styles, 5 p.m. Pull up. Draft Class 2K18. We got a battle coming. Shout out to my boy Street Hymns. Shout out to Loso.
Shout out to Loso.
Shout out to Dre South.
Shout out to A-Ward.
Shout out to the Saga.
Shout out to
A-Ward.
the Saga.
We in here, man.
3PFD. Shout out to him.
Hey, if y'all think Christians ain't got bars, if y'all think Christians is soft, pull up.
Pull up. Pull up, youngster. Rewind selector.
Nah, for real though, we in here, man. We trying to insert ourselves in the culture any way we can. That's really what we about as the Salt Society, not just as a podcast, but as a collective. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Salt Society consists, really, honestly, you're Salt Society unofficially if you love the Lord and you're passionate about pushing forward the culture where SALT stands for Supreme Art Life Teaching. So anything in that context, if you're trying to get away from religion and traditional dogma that has nothing to do with scriptural context, you're the Salt Society.
Yeah.
Come to Salt Society. If you tired of the devil all in your video. Yo, well, it's 10 o'clock, bro. It's almost time to end this podcast.
Dang, we did.
Dogma.
That
We
was
moved through
quick.
that concept, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like I
forgot
think.
where we were at. Like,
Yeah, we really.
I had a point, but it.
We touched on that marriage like It
Yo,
could go, I feel like
lightly,
marriage could
lightly.
go. Yeah,
It
that
could
was
go a lot
light
more.
because
I'm
we
sure
because
we'll
honestly
revisit
we're
it.
gonna have to bring that part 2 back. Like I wanted to get into some questions.
Come around
Yeah.
second
We
line.
we
bring
just
these
touched it
cars
light.
right back.
Light.
You know, we
I'm
touched it light. You know,
We'll get deep into the vows later.
yeah,
Well,
we can.
we also touched like depression and
Yeah, we you
whatever.
know it's because at the end of the day, life is hard, but God is good. Shout out to the truth. Life is hard, but God is
That
good.
song
But
is phenomenal.
it's
I
phenomenal.
just had to recently
and him doing it
admit that I have
live,
PTSD. Like
real talk. Because
like I was talking to you, like on that when I was joking around.
Yeah.
Remember that time I was like, bro, I'm about to go to jail. I'm about to beat up. This
yeah.
dude."
He was
I
texting
was
me like he was
I
about to. He was like, I'm about to smack this.
Hey, we love the Lord. I swear. Like I know we talk about fighting.
He was like,
and
I'm about
busting
to-
guns and drug abuse, sexual
lose people,
assault, and all
lose
that.
morals.
Yeah, and having affairs. But we do love God.
We
Like, I
really
just wanna-
love him.
I swear.
But I was, you called me and you like,
Yeah, I called him like, bro, you good? I'm like, you know,
Hey, I'm about to go to jail. Hey, you cool?
yeah, you hear that and you see that in the text, like I'm about to smack this man. I'm like, ah, bro, what is happening?
I'm about to pull
But it's for
over.
real though, like,
yeah.
and I think we could end there.
That's
like,
how you have accountability and you have
real
that.
talk,
That's what
and
that
people
is.
that can that
relate.
not everybody can get that text and be
Facts.
like, I know my brother's heart. I know, like, you know what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
not be like, what, like such a sinner, what, like, you know,
Right.
like,
It's a
and
real
we-
relationship.
real talk, real relationship, and understand, like, okay, I understand because I feel that way sometimes. If you not real, then you know you might not want to rock with us. But if you real, it's sometimes when you really do want to smack somebody.
Come up to the stage acting
yeah.
like a fool.
It's some. It's some.
Okay, I got you.
Hey, we got security at every show from now on too. So I just want to put a forewarner. There will be nobody else running up to the stage with machetes.
That's a fact,
We had that
bro.
happen. You'll get shot around here
That's
next
a fact.
time. We
Yo,
got
I
security. You
We
will
don't even
get
need
shot,
security
bro.
from the fans. We need security from these people that be lying to us about honorarium prices. Talking about they gonna cover our hotel and our gas.
I don't want no
And now
orange
we-
soda, bro.
Wait, is the machete
Hey,
the
is
next
that only
story
because
again?
you're fake?
That's a good one.
Yes, bro. Oh, you never heard the machete
No,
story?
I heard it. We should put it out.
We should-
there,
Jay,
Should
is
we
that
check that?
Okay, so
Jay? Is that only because CHH is fake?
Bro.
oh,
First of all, let me say in my opinion, Calvin Martyr found somebody on some social networking site that said that all Christian rappers in the DFW area are fake and only want money.
No, he said everywhere.
yeah, he said all
about to say,
C. Yeah,
he
he
said he
said.
hung
So
out.
he said
He hung
all
out in the
CHH.
DFW.
Yeah, he said all CHH was fake. All Christian rappers is just out to get money, and he said specifically he lived in the DFW area for quite some time, and all the guys in the DFW area, in the CHH scene was all fraud, and I took offense to that because shout out to Adrian Butler,
Facts.
you know, shout out to my boy Samson, shout out to me.
Bishop Ridge, Michael
Bishop
Chase
Ridge, incredible,
Nation.
incredible pastor. He started off doing Christian hip hop and whatnot. Bishop Ridge. If you're looking for a church home in the DFW area, you don't
Authentic
have a
church.
home.
You got Jason
Authentic
Neesing,
church. Jason Neesing, a great brother. There's man, we could go on and on with
Paul
the people that we.
Santos.
Paul Santos, Explicit PV. Right? We know too many people personally in the DFW area for that to be a accurate statement. You know what I'm
We're
saying?
about
But
accuracy.
but you know, and I think that's just a problem in our culture right now, man. People will just say blanket statements and it's just so ignorant. But CHH, man, if you think CHH is fake, you know, send us an email, saltsocietypodcast@gmail.com.
Let's talk.
You can find us on Facebook. You can find me online, Calvin Martyr, at Calvin Loves God. You can find Jay Nice at Jay Nice the KB, Paula Trades, DJ Connect. Hey, holla at us. If that's how you feel,
If I'm not your OG, I'm your favorite. I'm your OG's favorite rapper.
if that's how y'all feel, then you know, let us know. But you know, how y'all want to wrap it up though? You want the story about the machetes, bro?
Yeah,
Bro, you want
Oh,
to
we could oh,
save that. Let's
yeah,
save
we'll
it.
say
Save it for
we'll,
story time.
we'll save that for story time next time. Next week we'll tell y'all about how me and Jay Nice were on the Paradigm Shift tour. We were in Wichita Falls, Texas. How this man, we don't know if he was in his right mind or not, but he tried to come up to the stage with 2 machetes. He tried to chop us up, and we'll leave it there.
Wait, y'all looked through a horror
Break
film?
off the boat.
hey, hey, my boy Najalon said he want to battle you, bro.
Yo, shout out to Najalon, bro.
Hey, yeah.
You know what? Shout out to Najalon. His film his photography. He's been at the Austin Film Festival. He supported the whole Frontline movement with Corey Paul and Reconcile. Shout out to my brothers Corey Paul and Reconcile. And they new little homie Rockstar TJ.
Man,
Shout
he
out
a
to
young
him, too.
soldier too, man. He was in the video, my Made Man video way back.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
bro.
saying? He been
So,
holding down the movement for
shout
a
out to
minute.
Najalan, bro. Najalan, you and any rapper you know in your city don't want this in your life, bro. Like,
Y'all don't
these
want
tired
that
of being
smoke,
humble.
bro.
I'm tired of being humble. All 2018, bro. I'm putting people in coffins if you disrespected me, bro. The Lord says, kill off your sin. I'm viewing all y'all as sinful for not trusting in the skill set that I wield, bro.
Listen. Wait.
All glory to God, though.
Listen, I'll battle whoever, but one person I will not battle is Jay Nice. I won't battle Jay Nice. Y'all don't want that smoke.
Man.
If y'all think I'm crazy with it, y'all don't want to battle my big brother.
Yeah, but make
y'all.
sure you support, man. And also pray for Calvin as we have this battle, man.
Real
'Cause, like,
talk.
our intent is definitely to inject ourselves in the culture. But the conversation I had with Street Hymns about this afterwards is like, I'm not a battler, right? I've been to one of your battles just to support, and I went to one of his battles. And still the people we met there contacted me and shared with me, and friendships were started and bonded.
Facts.
Like R.I.P. King Leo, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Facts,
that's
man.
somebody that we talked to, and that Street Hymns actually started bringing with him to church.
Yeah.
Because they met at a battle. Shout outs to Hero, who actually emails me and we talk about lyricism. Shout outs to Benji Reckless, who's giving me feedback on how to do music videos and typography and stuff like this. So don't just think that we're here early.
Who I'm battling Saturday.
Yeah, Benji. I mean, Benji.
But
going
we-
in the
Those are the
coffin,
surface
regardless.
level.
Yeah.
The Christian rapper versus the rapper.
But it's real talk though.
Yeah.
Like you said, like, man, y'all don't understand. It's brothers. I've literally
Shout out to Chuko.
their kids having medical issues and
Facts.
these are battlers. And we on the phone praying about
Facts.
like, so it's real life relationships that being built from this. We're not just battling just because
You're going out in
but-
the world and being salt.
real talk. Like we're not
doing
just
what the
out
Bible
here,
says?
y'all.
What?
We not just out here battling just because. Like there's certain people. We're not saying to reach the crackhead you got to smoke crack, or to
facts.
reach the addict you got to smoke weed
was.
or whatever.
To reach Frank Ocean, you got okay. Never mind.
There definitely are scenarios where if you really want to win the respect of an individual, like it's the old adage, people don't care about what you have to say until they know you care about what they care about. You know what I'm saying?
I would
And
caveat
man,
though-
it sounds like a lot of people uneducated on the battle rap scene as far as like they look at the WWE like facade, the
Right.
drama.
Right.
They're not realizing the brotherhood in the locker room between the battlers.
Facts, yeah. That's a
good
great
Especially
analogy.
seeing how Raw 25th anniversary just passed last Monday.
That's a great analogy because you're right. When you
And I like
those
WWE.
when you watch WWE, all of those dudes are friends. Like they're out there.
Absolutely.
It's an act. It's a facade. And in many ways, I mean, there are some
It's
real
not an act,
beefs.
It's an art.
It's
bro.
an art.
Art.
Facts.
Painting a picture.
Just like
Facts,
battle rap.
facts,
Art,
and battle
exactly.
rap is the same thing. And us being hip hop artists, yes, we are Christians, but we're hip hop artists. And at the end of the day, battle rap really is one of the foundational cores of
Absolutely.
I would
hip hop. I would say
In its
the
raw
bedrock.
form.
Really, that's
in
really
its raw form.
It's in
Stripping
its
away
rawest
the music,
form.
stripping away the lights and the clever wordplay.
It's the
like
only
you said.
art form that's recognized by the Poem Society as a poetry form.
wow.
I mean,
Facts.
rap, rhythm, and poetry.
And I would argue that we can find a cappella rap in scripture.
that was brought up at the panel discussion.
yeah.
Yo, shout out to my mom, bro.
Hey,
I
hey.
was thinking about that.
You want to close on this panel discussion? Any topics?
You think King David was the first rapper?
we gonna rap, yeah,
talked about that.
yeah.
We
I
did
think
talk
so.
about that.
Facts,
Like
facts.
Psalms? That's
Yeah,
all
the
that is?
songs. Yeah. We could bring that up because we
Cause your
still got to
mom-
talk about a CHA's fake. So we'll bring that
Yeah,
up
we'll bring
next.
that up later.
We'll bring that up
Okay.
next
All
week.
right.
So
This
to
podcast
wrap it
goes
up,
for 3 hours.
shout out to everybody that this is the first week, episode 6 that we went live the whole time. So shout out to everybody that's been tuning in and commenting.
Shout out
I've been
to you.
trying to keep
You
it
can't
up.
hear my drops, though.
Yeah, y'all can't hear the drops, but tune in. Y'all be able to check it out on SoundCloud either
hear it
tomorrow or
again.
Friday.
iTunes.
It feels
Hey, get
on
us, get us
iTunes.
up on the top 200 on iTunes. We
Hey,
need
yeah.
that.
Yo,
You
matter of
can-
fact, subscribe to this YouTube channel. the Salt Society Podcast YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, share this, go onto SoundCloud, share it, click it and like it. This is the greatest podcast in the world. Also, I like Gifted the Flamethrower. I love him, but he lied on his podcast, bro.
What'd he say, bro?
He said that his podcast is the best podcast in the world.
He jacked that from us.
Shots
We've been
fired.
going strong
Bro.
since 2017.
Bang, bang.
Yo, Gifted got shot in the face. I'm not saying he stole any. I don't want that.
Yeah,
publicity,
Gifted
bro.
is a real gangster. Okay, all respect to the OG.
All I gotta say.
Wait,
is-
007 has a story. I want to bring him by where he locked the dude in a trunk for a day or something like
Oh,
that.
man.
Locked the dude in his own truck and then drove his car around for a day. I'm not starting any problems with him. All I'm
Hey.
saying is that your podcast, Gifted, is great. Y'all check out the Running My Mouth
All
podcast.
I gotta
Like,
say
it's
is
like
I
dope.
stay-
He said he wants to start. We've been talking about this like for the last couple years. He said the thing that would solve all issues in CHAs is if we start a boxing ministry.
Facts.
What do you say? He said called it punched in the face.
Yeah.
Everybody got to get punched in the face.
Some of
bro.
y'all just
What's
need to
their
get
life?
punched in the face. That's
a
it.
fact.
Y'all be all right. So as we all
But all I gotta say about that is I stay strapped. I'm just saying I stay strapped.
I'm strapped in. I caught you in a coma. Madness. I can snap at any moment.
shout out to New Jersey Twerk, man. Hey, so we'll end it as we always do every week with financial cues from DJ Connect.
Hey, I just want to put. This was on my heart to say, like, I'm not trying to like talk down to people or say like there's, I've got the answers to everything or whatever. But the reason why I come up with these things because I've went through these situations. I've had that 400 credit score. I've been in debt where I felt like I was never gonna get out of debt. I've been in those situations where I was hopeless.
Talk that bad credit talk.
You know what I'm
cuz.
saying? Like I was hopeless. I've had repo. I had a truck repoed.
Right.
And I've come through that, and I've been able to be successful at a certain level. And I don't feel I'm that successful right now, but I feel like I'm getting there. But the reason why I want this is to help people to get to that level and get out of that hopeless situation. So the
Facts.
financial advice I give people now is if you have a lot of debt, all right, you have a lot of credit card debt or what have you. There's and Dave Ramsey preaches this too. It's called the snowball effect. All right, so he says the highest interest rate loan first, but I figure, let's go with the lowest debt. Say
Sure.
you owe $1,000 on a card, and put an extra $50 on it, right? And the reason why I say the lowest amount because it becomes a habit and becomes a discipline thing, and it becomes a mental where you felt great because you paid that off.
Accomplishment.
The accomplishment, right? So what I'm talking about the snowball effect is okay. You pay the minimum on everything. I know that sounds horrible, but you pay the minimum on everything except for that $1,000 credit card or whatever. Put that extra $50 on it. You end up paying it off 6 months earlier because you've put that extra money on it.
Right.
Then don't think you have that extra cash once you've paid it off. Take that cash you're putting towards that card and aim it towards the next highest interest rate. So then you're not just paying an extra $50. You're paying say $150 because
You already had that budget.
Exactly. You already had that debt budgeted. So you're paying an extra $150. So that gets paid off even
Back to
quicker.
your point, please break that mentality that like, now I have extra cash, throw out more. You
No.
do an emergency. Don't not keep the discipline. Keep
the discipline and keep that momentum going. So then, like I've had people literally have $60,000 in debt and become debt free in 2 years
Beautiful.
by doing this situation.
60,000 in debt and debt free.
Are you
in 2
listening to
years?
him?
Yes. And
Bars.
so you're adding that amount like that 150 onto the next amount. Then you pay that off even quicker. Then the amount that you have on the next interest rate is going to be even higher because you're paying more interest.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an extra 350 onto that next debt.
Yeah.
You see
Guess
the
what you
snowball
do to your
thing?
credit.
You see the snowball thing. So you're adding even more to that, and you're not spending any extra cash.
I like it.
You see what I'm saying?
beautiful.
Every time you've paid off that card, you're just using that same debt money
Right.
to go towards the next debt.
Yep.
So doing that will help you pay off your debt and not feel like you're in that endless cycle of always being in that situation.
Absolutely.
So I think that is one of the ways to get out of there. And like you said, if you have questions or anything like that or more specific things, email us, email Salt Society, hit me up, and I literally have Excel spreadsheets with this programmed in, so you can just look at the interest rate, how much you're paying each month, how much interest you're paying, and how it looks on paper. Once you put it on paper, it seems like it's hopeless, but it kind of like makes you feel a little bit better about the situation.
Right.
Well, it's been a wonderful time. Episode 6, S.A.L.T Society podcast. I can't wait till we're like at episode 50 or something.
Yeah.
We had to.
Wait.
We almost 10 in though.
Do the commercial of our new sponsor.
Oh yeah. So so if you this is Fiji water. It's, from the islands of Fiji. If you want this product to be your product, email us at saltsocietypodcast@gmail.com. We will feature your product. We will wear your shirt. If you see this shirt here, this is a Young King OG shirt. You can find it at calvinmartyr.com. But we will feature your product. We'll wear your t-shirt. Yeah. We'll feature your drink, whatever it may be. We even will feature your song, as DJ Connect is about to feature the song
we doing
of
pay
the
for
week.
Play, bro?
Listen,
pay for play.
I don't know how much they got to pay for it to play. But email us at S.A.L.T Society
All profits
Podcast.
go to us.
I was gonna say, bro, you got a baby on the way. All profits go to the new baby.
All profits shall go to promo because it's not free.
That's a fact.
It's not free.
Yeah.
And shout out, and I just want to say, stop accusing people of buying. There's a difference between buying views and paying for promo. Like somebody tried to accuse, like I wanted to argue with her so bad. First of all, I'm like, bro.
Was somebody online?
No, yeah, Tim Peyote was like, shout out to Tim Peyote. He was like, I wholeheartedly believe Calvin bought views.
I don't want to have any conversation with Tim until he get a haircut, bro. Like, don't talk to me until you fix that hairline.
I told him, I'm like,
hairline look like Vegeta, bro.
Me, I'm like, bro, you don't even have an artist page, bro. Like, I got almost 6,000 fans on my artist page. Another 5,000 on my one personal page.
I
like,
love
come
Tim,
on.
but I gotta get these jokes off. We don't even know you. You rack sidekick. Like, we don't want to have this conversation. Yo, Street Ham's had a battle with
Bro,
you.
he's gonna come
wrote
for
the
you,
battle
bro.
the night before, bro.
Oh.
Yo, Street literally was like, yo, I got this battle tomorrow. I just wrote this. You want to hear it? Yo, Tim, don't come from my podcast, bro. All 2018, I'm not apologizing about being great.
Man,
now, Rax,
bro.
I'm not joking with you. You a gangster. I don't want these jokes.
Rax, we don't want no
You
know what's funny? Hey, yo. Hey, so anyway, we ending it with the song of the week by DJ Connect. Who's the song of the week?
We got What It Sounds Like by Jay Nice the
What
King.
It Sounds Like by
That's a good song.
by Jay Nice the KB. Shout out, much
What it
love.
sounds like when the truck gon' bang into Mrs. Smith for the cane. It's what it sounds like when the windows down and Christ music shaking pavement around. It's what it sounds like when the Lord's in the midst and jams hard with the gospel twist. It's what it sounds like when praises get sent high. Christ the truth, yeah, you boy Texas boarded up bullets. Can't you hear my ad-libs? What can the paint be dripping? Like a leak of butter, the faucet. Who said we ain't got real images?